we realize that we don't know everything, because it's like the more we're trying to find ourselves, this is what we're doing. It's almost like the deeper in that maze we get. And I think this is because, we're not lost. A lot of people might be feeling very lost at this moment. I mean, this last couple of years, even these last couple of months, have really thrown like kind of a spanner in the works to where we thought or what we thought we were doing. But there's a difference between feeling lost and not knowing where we're going, because lost is when we take a wrong turn and venture off the path that is leading to our desired destination. When we're not sure where we're going, it means that we're traveling without a map, but we're trusting that we'll end up at the right place. So what this Scorpio moon is asking us to do is allow our vulnerability to walk hand in hand with our power, to let our angels dance with our devils, to have a deepening of our human experience or existence within the world, while simultaneously realizing we are not of this world. So it's like the strength and the fragility are sharing the same space, in the same way that our light and our dark is, So it's almost like this Scorpio energy, this scorpionic energy that we're having at the minute. And I feel that it's starting now in the run up to next week. I feel it's almost going to be like a large purge, which will be followed by a liberation of the self. It's like we've got to walk through our own darkness in order to shine brighter than ever before. We've got to have kind of our own funeral pyre in order to rise from them ashes, and it's very similar, like the Joan of Arc. She was a fellow witch who was persecuted for her craft as well, like all of us are. And she humbly and powerfully stood in the flames, and she wouldn't denounce what she believed in. And they kept begging her to denounce her faith or whatever, her God or her higher power or whatever it was. And she wouldn't, and they said they would let her off, but she stood in her truth. And the words that she allegedly said were, "I'm not afraid. I was born to do this." And this is when we realize that we were all born to live exactly who we were meant to be. We're born to live in our truth. We're not meant to wear masks. This is when we can see the absurdity of the life that we have lived before, where we've tried so hard to fit in when we weren't meant to, when we can allow our trepidation to turn into fearlessness, our exhaustion to transmute to excitement, and, the liberation that we are going to discover, I feel, in this Scorpio moon energy, is going to liberate us from the lies we've told ourselves and the lies that have been told to us by others. This whole Scorpio season is about honoring our truth, and it's about kind of like not needing validation from other people, being at peace with ourselves, okay? And the only way we can find peace is to revisit the war. And when I say the war, I feel that this is the war within ourselves, the war of trying to fit in when we know that we're not meant to, the war of putting on this lip service to other people and saying what we think they want us to say, rather than what we truly want to say ourselves. This having these deep conversations with people who get it, rather than actually having to adjust what we're saying just to make other people feel so comfortable. So when we are allowing ourselves to censor ourselves for the comfort of others, but at the cost of our comfortableness, that is not actually honoring who we are. It's not actually honoring our truth, and we will never be at peace if we do that, because what we are doing is we are stepping out of integrity of the self. And like I say, Scorpio, eighth house. Not a lot of people want to go there. It's the house of taboo, you know, and taboo is it's something that is frowned upon, or what will people think? I know one of my friends used to introduce me to people, and he used to say like, "Oh, this is Tanya. She's a witch," and I was like, "I'm not a witch." He's like, "Yeah, but you are though." And I used to, because I was, no, don't be saying stuff like that. And now if somebody calls me a witch, I'm like, yeah, thanks, you know, because when you see the true meaning of it, it's nothing to be scared of. It's nothing to hide away from. If I'm hiding away from a part of me, how the hell can I tell people here, how to live in their truth if I'm not being in my truth as well? And it's not always easy, you know, but it's not easy living a lie neither. And it's not easy every day donning a mask and donning our armor and all of this stuff, before we even go out in the day. It's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to be somebody we're not. It's like being an actor, like 365 days of the year, 30, 40, 50 years of your life, and this is what this Scorpio energy is. So the more uncomfortable it is, or that whatever is happening here, please know that it is just actually lifting you up to step into your own liberation. It is freeing you from a lie that you've been telling yourself. So if a relationship breaks down and ends, then that's great. You are being liberated. Your sense of love and worth does not depend on whether somebody loves or honors you. It depends on whether you do. So when you can love yourself and you can choose yourself, that is when you will get somebody that can come along and choose you, because you're showing them how you want to be treated. You're not settling for second best. Scorpio wouldn't do that. And the thing is, a lot of people say Scorpio has that sting in the tail. And it does when it's in shadow, you know, but it's not to attack somebody. It's like, that sting in the tail, that jealousy, that obsession or whatever, that can be used for good. I mean, jealousy is, I don't feel that that's healthy, but obsession is. Look at these people who get obsessed with stuff. I would never be able to read the tarot in the way I read tarot, if I hadn't have developed my obsession for it. I get obsessed, I get engrossed with stuff, and that's perfectly fine. And if other people don't get it, that's their thing. But if I'm going to learn something, or if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, because that's the only way I know how. That's the only way I know how to love. That's the only way I know how to show up. And that's the only way I know how to be. And now, after years and years and years of trying to be what people wanted me to be and fit into this mold, I can't do it anymore, And I know this Scorpio moon's got some stuff coming up for me as well. I know it has. And I'm excited for that, because it doesn't matter how painful it is. And like I say, the last few years on this Scorpio moon, I've been in bed because it's been like, oh God, right? It's kicking shit out of me. But exactly, it is kicking the shit out of me. The stuff that isn't mine, the waste matter. Thanks. God, taking me on a place here. The waste matter that is no good. I've taken what I needed from it and then get rid of the rest. So like I say, this is like a purging. Has anybody ever done, like plant medicines or anything like that, like ayahuasca or, mushrooms or whatever? There is never, ever a bad trip. It will give you exactly what you need. And, it's a purge. They're not pretty. It's not like you sit and go, oh, yeah, everything's great on these flowers, beautiful. You might get a little bit of that, and then the work comes. So it doesn't matter how tired you are at the moment, this work is coming for us. Okay. So what we can do, we can say, right, oh, come on, Scorpio, you sexy little motherfucker, bring it on. Come at me because I am ready for whatever gift you want to give me. Now, this gift might be wrapped up in a strange packaging. You might not see it as a gift initially, but hopefully by listening to this video, you're going to know that whatever comes is actually a gift in disguise, okay? And it is coming to actually take away the disguise that you have been wearing, okay? It wants you to show itself. So when we're saying, Scorpio, come on, show yourself to me, it's going, okay, I'll show me yours, and I'll show you mine if you show me yours. So Scorpio wants to strip us of the masks, So it's it's like hopefully next time I've come on here, we'll all be like, all right, okay, we've been Scorpioed. But it's like I say, it's going to be intense. But if it's not intense, like I say, then we get tense. So try to get comfortable with the uncomfortable here as well, and breathe through it. Okay. This is what we need to do. Just breathe through it. Okay. Doesn't matter how scared we get. Okay. How uncomfortable this gets. If we continue to breathe, we know that we are still alive. Okay. And today it's really strange. I had a song playing in my head from getting up this morning, and I didn't even know what it was, and I had to like message my daughter and sing it down the phone and say, "What's this song?" Sent her a voice note, and it was actually "Word Up" by Cameo, and all I kept getting in my head is, throw your arms in there or throw your hands in your hair like you just don't care. And it's word up. And this is what I feel Spirit was saying to me. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm just like, this is why I think I'm doing this video early, compared to what I normally do them, because it's like, come on, there's something I want to tell you. I want to give you the, like the heads up that this is coming as well. So it's yeah. And I think one of the things as well with this Scorpio moon, we can all look at the way we have been, or we can all look at ourselves as a victim, okay? Because many of us have been victimized. I think throughout life, it's very rare that we don't get victimized in some way or another. But to point the finger of blame at anybody like that, there's always three pointing back at us, okay? So Scorpio, when it asks us to be in our truth, it also asks us to own our own shit, okay? To take responsibility for the part that we have played in something. Because remember, our truth is not somebody else's truth. So their truth will differ to ours. And if we are constantly seeing ourselves as the victim, we are not in any way owning ourselves, and we are not being in our strength. Being in our strength is like, right, okay, just because this has been done to me, I choose not to do that to somebody else. So this is actually asking us to see the part that we have played in the shit or the stuff that is hurting us, because we've all played a part. People come into our lives, they're divine assignments. Anybody who comes into our life is a divine assignment, okay? They have been sent there from Spirit. We asked for them to come into our life, no matter how they're going to treat us. And if we don't learn from that, and we just keep pointing the finger and, saying they done this and they done that, and, and not owning it, we're never going to take the lesson from it. And this is why this Scorpio, this is shadow stuff, this is what we've got to do when we can actually play the part in it. Like I say, I had an abusive relationship, very abusive. I played a part in that as well, There was a lot of codependency within it, a lot of manipulation. And I played my part in that as well. And I also stayed in that when I didn't have to. So, it's like own it. Own your own shit. This is all part of shadow work. This is all part of Scorpio. You know, we might not always like the truth, but we've got to be in our own truth if we want to live in a world of truth. If we're living in a world of lying, or where we don't want to say that because then that takes a little bit from us, then that's not being truthful. So seeing the part we've played and owning that, this is what the Scorpio moon is going to ask us to do. Okay. And remember, it falls on the 4th of November, possibly going into the 5th in some places, and they talk about Guy Fawkes. It was bonfire night. And, Guy Fawkes, I believe, was the only person to enter parliament with honest intentions, and I'd probably get wrong for saying that and get banned again, but that's what it is. He wasn't hiding what he was wanting to do. But like I say, talk about big bangs. I feel there's something coming. I feel there's a lot of secrets going to come out, that are linked to higher kind of, or, supposedly higher establishments and things like that. Prepare for this bang, because it's coming. Anything that isn't in truth and anything that isn't integral is going to be rocked, okay, in the next couple of weeks. And it really is. But, this is when the secret's out. Anything that is hidden is going to be brought to the surface. Anything that we're hiding within ourselves is going to be brought to our surface as well. And it's a new moon, so it's a great time to um to set our intentions, to really start living in our truth, to every day try and be truthful, you know. And it's coming. I mean, there's big shifts. I've got to be very careful what I say on here, very, very careful. I don't know why they're giving me a bridge, something to do with a bridge as well, and I'm asking, is this a bridge between the worlds? And they're saying, no, it's a physical bridge. And, I don't want to go in with stuff because I don't like to, I don't like to fearmonger or anything like that. But it's like, watch this space. There's stuff going on, I feel, but this is all unraveling. We've lived a life for too long. We've lived surrounded by fakery, fakery and fuckery. That's what we've lived around. And I'm sure this is a pink moon as well. Sure, it's a pink moon. There's a great song by Nick Drake called Pink Moon, and it's just such a sweet song. I love Nick